So, yeah, episode 39. Great album. Terrible cover. I'm Rich Batchelor.
I'm Mark Major.
And this is Cool Album Covers. We begin with 1971's Paranoid by Black Sabbath, in which a roadie pal is dressed up in a helmet, given a sword and some blue underpants and a shield, and told to leap out from behind a tree.
Do you think that this was a case of misinterpreted vision? Like someone in the band, maybe drunk, maybe high, had a conversation with the manager, kind of like that Stonehenge moment in Spinal Tap. Next thing you know, at the photo shoot, it's a guy in a motorcycle helmet with a plastic sword jumping out.
Ozzy said I should do this. Lionel, get back behind the tree and put your pants on.
Or do you think like this really was like, like the budget and everything, this was like, intense for them?
Well, I wonder. I mean, was Warner Brothers such a small concern in those days that they couldn't come up with anything better? Although a lot of Black Sabbath album covers try about as hard as this one. It is true.
It's totally phoned in.
I mean, well, and for that matter, are we supposed to be paranoid that he's going to attack us, or is he being paranoid and that's why he's coming at us in his underpants with his plastic sword wearing a helmet?
I think if you are someone who's seeing this guy, then you have hired the wrong bodyguard. Let's move on to the
Cotillion release of Loaded by the Velvet Underground, their final official studio album. I say it's a terrible cover, but I can see arguments for it not being a terrible cover.
It's definitely a great album.
Mm-hmm. It is that, certainly. And as far as the album cover goes, I mean, it's Basketball Jones levels of cartoonery going on here, if you know what I mean. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 heroin. Somehow it's failing to grab me, but on the other hand, it's also kind of cool and simple. It's like a pink smoke from the showboy. We're loaded. I have had some people make an argument in favor of this album cover, Steely Dan's Countdown to Ecstasy. Where on one hand, at the end there, at the end of whatever process we're watching happen here, that's a look of enlightenment, or maybe just ecstasy on that pink homunculus's face.
I'm confused by the chairs.
What role does the chair play?
I don't know, but they put a lot more detail into the chairs, and the humans are really just no detail at all. I mean... Yeah,
true. You don't even bother drawing the guy.
3 of them don't even have a face.
I've been assuming all this time that they're all the same guy at varying levels of their spiritual development.
I thought they were like old ladies. Naked old ladies.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, and I don't know what Countdown to Ecstasy means. I mean, you'd have to ask the fag.
Yeah, I know, and he's not here currently. I don't know what that means either. It's funny, if you consider the album itself, Ecstasy would have to be nuclear war, because the final song is about more or less a conversation you're having with one of the few other people left behind after some sort of apocalypse.
I would say that Steely Dan and Tool would be a good pair.
Well, every bit as good as Dennis DeYoung and 38 Special, certainly.
Tell us a little bit about this one, Mr. Batchelor.
A post-rock classic by Chicago's inimitable Tortoise. And it's basically, it nicely marries a whole bunch of different genres, a little bit of jazz, a little bit of quiet rock, a lot of kind of rhythmic messing with you, and they decided to introduce themselves with this decidedly underperforming album cover. Probably on purpose. I mean, it's like, hey, we totally wrote this on a menu.
I once scribbled on the Beatles' White Album, looked like this.
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to say, actually, that's a guest check from a restaurant, but it's not even that. It says title up in the upper left-hand corner and looks kind of like an index card. I don't know.
Phoned in.
Casper the Ghost kind of smokes. Oh, and this may very well be the king of them all.
Here's what I think happened. I think they took some close-up shots of these guys for the cover, and they thought it would be really just a happy, smiling guy, and they thought it would be enough. And then someone realized it was too plain, so they went and in Photoshop, duplicated it, and then took the eraser and erased around so there was nothing but eyes and mouth left.
This is a concept album about breakups and being depressed after breaking up with somebody. And irony, and maybe there's like, look how stupid you look when you're smiling. And by the way, we've got another album of this left in us. What are we going to call our next album and make it look like, do you think? Well, okay, sure, but this time with a girl. Anyway, both really great albums, though.
And that concludes Cool Album Covers.
Season 2.5.